I'm here interviewing Eric Winsler from Mears Pest Control and Great Plains Chemical, and we had some questions for you today regarding how you use chemistry in your job. At first, can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, like how long you've been at your job, some of the things that you use chemistry there, things like that.
Sure. Again, my name's Eric. I'm currently in pest control and commodity fumigations. I have been doing it for 13 years now. Man, we use chemistry daily. I mean, everything we do has to do with mixing chemicals and applying chemicals and doing it in a safe manner and an appropriate manner to get the result that we need for whatever insect or bug or whatever it may be that we're trying to help a customer with.
Okay. Tell me how it is that you actually use chemistry when you're mixing chemical. How do you know what to do?
Okay. There's hundreds and thousands of different chemicals out there that we have available to us to choose and use on any given basis, but they all come with a label. And I mean, the most important thing is being able to read the label, which is essentially the instruction book, and understanding how to take that formulation, which most of the time is some sort of a concentrate that you're having to mix to make a larger quantity. I mean, there's different types. There's wettable powders, there's emulsifiable concentrates. I mean, there's all suspended concentrates, all different kinds, and you have to know how to mix the appropriate amount with whatever carrier you're going to use to spread that chemical, which a lot of times would just be something as simple as water, but you need to know how to do that appropriately and safely, so that, say I'm going to go and spray your backyard for spiders. Well, I want to make sure that I make that chemical strong enough that it's going to take care of your spider problem, but when Fido, your puppy's out there eating the grass, it's not going to give him an upset stomach or kill him. I mean.
Okay. When you're applying chemical solutions, do you just treat residences and buildings, or are there other uses for pesticides?
Yeah, I mean, we do. We definitely treat residences. We treat any kind of commercial property. A lot of what we do has to do with farm storage and commodity storage, and by that I mean like a manufacturing plant that produces cottonseed, or a food plant that may harvest peanuts to make peanut butter, or a potato chip factory that takes raw potatoes and turns them into your Frito-Lay potato chips. I mean, any type scenario where we're protecting a food or a commodity or a home against pests and insects and rodents, we would use some sort of chemistry or some sort of chemical or a bait application that would help with that issue.
How do you know when to use what sort of chemical? What type of education would prepare you for that? Is it more on-the-job training, or do you have to take a certification test? How does that work?
Absolutely. I mean, it is, the majority of it is on-the-job training and some computer training, but there is also state licensing requirements that you would after being trained and being licensed on as an apprentice for a little while, you're eligible to go and apply for the state exam, which can take you to the next certification level. There's actually several levels that you can get higher certification and different categories and things, because somebody that may be able to treat pests in a home may not be licensed to go treat weeds at a business. There's different categories for different things, or termites are a different type of category for a license.
What type of time are you looking in preparation to get certified and get completely trained, where you are able to make the kinds of decisions that you would need to make about applications?
I mean, typically when we bring on a new employee, I mean, they're probably in training for a month or two. I mean, they're never going to learn it all. I've got guys that have been working for me for 5 and 6 years that still call regularly and ask questions about certain scenarios. I mean, one of the interesting parts of my job is that no two issue is always the same. No two issues are always the same. I mean, I may go to your house and treat for ants in your bathroom, and I have to investigate and determine why they're there or what they're doing there, what drew them to your bathroom, what do I need to do to solve this problem. Whereas I may go to your neighbor's house and he may have the exact same ant, but they're in his kitchen or maybe they're in his bedroom, and so I have to figure out why they're there as opposed to the bathroom, how they were in your house. So it changes, even though it's the same thing you're doing at a lot of people's homes. It's always different, and I like that because it keeps it fresh.
Are there new and emerging threats that you have to deal with? We hear a lot in the news about the murder hornets and the increase in bed bugs in New York, and are there trends in bug treatment?
There are. It changes. I mean, yes, bed bugs were a big thing a few years ago. Bed bugs had essentially been eradicated decades ago, and they slowly reemerged through international travel and a lot through our military being overseas and bringing stuff back. And so a lot of the chemistry and chemicals that we had for certain household bugs weren't working on bed bugs because bed bugs had been eradicated and we weren't concerned about that. So they had to do a lot of changing and a lot of creating of new chemicals specifically for the bed bug that they hadn't done in years, and do it in a new safe way. But yes, and I mean, murder hornets, I mean, they're not as big of an issue as the media made them out to be, but yes, that is a good example of something random that just popped up on the radar, and we've had to design some sort of way to take care of that problem for somebody if we need to.
Why is it important that you're really good at handling chemicals and using chemistry in your job? Why is that really important for your customer?
The most important thing is being able to do it efficiently and effectively and cost effectively. I mean, I could mix a whole lot of chemical together to kill your roaches, but the key is using the least amount that I have to solve your problem and be able to do it to where you can afford to pay me to do it, and also help. It's for the environment. I mean, the more chemical you put out, the greater chance you have for runoff going into our water system, going into different things that could affect you for other things.
What piece of advice would you give students that are graduating high school soon and moving into the workforce?
Oh man, the key is you're going to have to work. It is hard work. I mean, you're going to have to put your cell phone down, and you're going to have to show up to work, and you're going to need to be there on time, and you need to do the job and work. I mean, so many people now, and it's not just graduating kids, but so many people are just lazy about it and think that they're gonna get a job that pays them millions of dollars right from the start. And I mean, there's a ladder you climb at work. It's you're gonna start at the bottom and slowly work your way up, and the only way to do that is through hard work.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your thoughtful comments and your input on how you use chemistry in your job, and we thank you for your time.
Sure, absolutely. Y'all have a great day.